Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to an introduction to the pedal steel guitar. I'm sitting behind my beautiful Mullen G2 12-string universal tuning pedal steel guitar. This was custom made for me in the United States, and I cannot speak more highly for the quality of the workmanship that Mullen guitars produce in the pedal steel field. I'll share a secret with you. This pedal steel is now more than 5 years old, and the strings I'm playing on this steel are the original set of strings that came with it. So if you've heard the horror stories about string breakage on pedal steel guitars, and there certainly are a lot of guitars where you just simply cannot keep the strings on a pedal steel, there's two factors here. I play the D9th A6 universal tuning. It's my own design tuning, but I deliberately have played D9th based tunings on pedal steel almost from the beginning to help alleviate the perennial problem of string breakage. The reason strings do break on a pedal steel is that we are constantly, through the use of floor pedals and knee levers, lowering and raising strings all the time. That's what we're doing when we're playing the steel guitar. We are constantly bending strings way beyond what a guitar player can ever bend. We're doing, in this case here, you can do up to 2 tones and raise and lowers. And some of the pedal changes I have on, one string, I might lower it a tone and then pull it up, a tone and a half. So absolutely congratulations to Mullen Guitars in the USA for building the Rolls-Royce of precision-made pedal steel guitars. The tuning I use is, in essence, the Nashville E9th standard pedal steel tuning, tuned down a tone, and about 8 or 9 of my strings are exactly in the same relationship that you would find on a standard 10-string pedal steel guitar. The universal tuning, and the one that I use, removes the 9th string 7th note. So on a standard Nashville pedal steel, the 9th string is tuned to D, and that lets you play the E7th chord. What I do is I just get rid of that string, and through a knee lever, I can pull up the string that would normally be tuned there. So if I want a 7th chord, you can hear that I'm getting that without having a dedicated string there. I just use a knee lever to get that. And what that lets me do is get some really big, lush, beautiful, big jazz type chords that you just simply can't get on the standard country E9th tuning. So this is tuned to D9th, A6th. The reason for that is Buddy Emmons was the guy who invented what they call the split pedals on the pedal steel guitar. So I know you can't see it with my webcam, but I've got 7 floor pedals down here. And the first pedal basically changes a major chord into a minor chord. So I'm tuned to D, and what you're hearing there is D major. And then when I press down the first of the 7 floor pedals on its own, it pulls up the A strings to B. So D major becomes B minor. What Buddy Emmons did originally, when the first pedal was put on a lap steel guitar, the pedal actually pulled up not only the A to the B, and I'll just speak in my tuning, in the D9th tuning, it also pulled up the F sharp to the G. So one pedal did this, and that was the start of the pedal steel guitar, where a pedal could turn a major chord from the first chord in a key up to the 4th chord. What Buddy Emmons said is, well, that's great, but I want to split those pedals. I want to be able to play the major chord, turn it into a minor, and then if I want to, turn the minor into the 4th chord. Now, by introducing knee levers, and these are operated by both your left and right knees, so the pedal steel just keeps you busy. You've got a volume pedal on your right foot. You've got, in my case, 7 floor pedals to dance around as you want to change different chords. That's all done with your left foot, and you do a combination of pressing those pedals down individually or 2 at a time, and you'd have to rock your foot between the pedals, roll your sort of ankle between the pedals. And this steel guitar also has 4 5 knee levers, 4 vertical knee levers, and that drop straight down and move horizontally. So the knee levers are vertical down to the floor, but you actually push your knee left or right horizontally. But it also has 1 knee lever that comes up. Now again, I know you can't see my knee, but that's being done by me lifting up my left-hand knee. Now if I move my left-hand knee to the left, I get that chord. If I move my left-hand knee to the right, I can get that incredibly beautiful country sound there. And I'm pulling up 2 strings there, different, semitones and tones. It's just fascinating, the mechanics behind the pedal steel. And I've got some photos that you'll be able to see some of those, the undercarriage of this pedal steel, and also the basic setup of it with the volume pedal and the 7 floor pedals and 5 knee levers. So all I want to just introduce you to today is the fact that it's a very complex instrument, but it's a really beautiful instrument. It is literally the same as the lap steel guitar, and I've done 3 videos introducing you to the lap steel. If you haven't checked those out, please check them out, because this is just an incredibly advanced lap steel guitar. We play it with the same thumb picks and finger picks that we use on the lap steel and dobro. Because this is a 12-string steel, I have to use a much heavier and bigger, longer, fatter bar, because these strings are very thick. My lowest note on this tuning is bass guitar low A. So if you're familiar with a bass guitar, the second fatter string on a bass guitar, it's low A. Now if I put on my 4th pedal, that drops that low A down to low F sharp, 2nd fret on the low E string of a bass guitar. Unbelievable low range. And obviously the strings around it can let you get some very big, fat sounding chords there. Unbelievable. On the high end, the highest note for me without using the pedals is F sharp, which is 2nd fret on the 1st string of a 6-string guitar. And the 2nd floor pedal pulls that F sharp up to G. So the range on this tuning of the pedal steel in standard default setup is G, 3rd fret on the 1st string of a standard 6-string guitar, to low F sharp, 2nd fret on the fattest string on a 4-string bass guitar. Unbelievable range. And that's why you need today I'm just plugging straight into my recording software, but you need a very good amp if you're going to play the extended tuning pedal steel guitar. You'll just blow a 10-inch speaker through the roof. Don't try and play pedal steel on a standard twin reverb or an amplifier that's made for guitar. I actually use the Fender Steel King amplifier. It's an unbelievably good amplifier. It has a 15-inch speaker. It's 200 watts RMS. And it's designed for the pedal steel guitar, but I find it's actually just a great amplifier all over. It's a heavy amp. It's a traditional Fender, it's a solid amp, but power to burn. And the Steel King amplifier handles the extreme range of the pedal steel better than any other amplifier I've ever used on any steel guitar. So I highly recommend the Fender Steel King amplifier if you're going to perform in public and you need an amplifier. Seriously, do not plug it into a standard small guitar amp. You will absolutely destroy the speaker in the amp before you know it. Okay, I'd like to just play a tune for you that I've recorded using the Mullen 12-string universal steel. The 2 players in the history of the instrument that absolutely have influenced me, and I regard both of these players as, equal to the best musicians that have ever played on any instrument, classical, jazz, folk, blues, whatever you want to call it. And those 2 players are Lloyd Green from Nashville, who is now retired, has been retired for many years, but check him out on Google. He played on more than 30,000 records. He holds the record as being the most recorded ever session player in Nashville. There was a time there for about 20 years where Lloyd Green was just on about every record that came out of Nashville. Lloyd spent his whole life playing, or most of his life, playing the single neck 10-string Nashville E9th tuning. I was lucky as a school kid to be able to correspond directly with Lloyd Green, just back in the days of sending letters between America and Australia, and he was just an absolute gentleman. He answered every question I ever asked, and I was literally a school kid, and he was the #1 session musician in Nashville at the time. But he answered every question very politely and gave me so much information. I'm forever grateful for Lloyd for taking the time to do that. The other player that completely influenced me in all types of music is the late, great Buddy Emmons. Buddy Emmons, together with Shot Jackson, formed the Showbud pedal steel company, making professional pedal steels, and for many years Showbud was the top brand to buy of a pedal steel. Buddy Emmons then went out on his own with the Emmons Guitar Company and changed again the course of the instrument, putting on full aluminium necks like this Mullen guitar has, and push-pull systems. Just an absolute innovator for his whole life. But as well as being an innovator mechanically, Buddy Emmons was without doubt the best of the C6th tuning players the world's ever seen. No one comes close to Buddy Emmons, and even the best players in the world will tell you that. Paul Franklin, who's done a lot of great playing with Dire Straits, if you read his interviews, everyone just shakes their head with how good Buddy Emmons was. So I've wrote a little tune in tribute to both Lloyd Green and Buddy Emmons, and I've simply called it Lloyd and Buddy. And the first part of the song is very much in the style of Lloyd Green, just beautiful, tasteful, melodic, 9th Nashville sounding pedal steel. And I fade out as the tune, as it fades out, I change to more of the low string Buddy Emmons jazz chord type playing. So have a listen to Lloyd and Buddy featuring the Mullen 12-string universal pedal steel. I hope you enjoyed hearing Lloyd and Buddy, or at least the spirit of Lloyd Green and Buddy Emmons. Two brilliant musicians. Please check them out. And if you're interested in slide instruments and you don't know about Lloyd Green and Buddy Emmons, you seriously have some homework to do. So check them out. As always, keep in touch via my website. That's www.brianhayes.biz. Drop me an email if you've got any questions about the pedal steel guitar. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the best way to keep in touch with all of the new videos as I post them for the many instruments that I play and teach. Bye for now.